Example 2. Example dos. Dude, even vertical. I can't even do my 8s correct. Okay, 6 plus 2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 11 minus 5 plus 7, right? So this problem, so what's the rule? If the signs are the same, you add and keep the same sign. If the signs are different, you subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So let's first identify all the signs for each number, okay? So nothing in here, positive, negative, positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Yes? So if I know the rules, I can solve this. Now, I have to be strategic on how I'm going to solve this. Because I can literally go, I'm going to do 2 at a time. So I'm going to do these 2 first. So it's like, you know what? Let me ignore everything first. Let me ignore that. Right? And let me just do that. And then what's 8 minus 6? Well, 8 minus 6, the signs are different, so you subtract. So 8 minus 6 is 2. Right? So which one's bigger? 8. 8 is positive, so the answer is positive 2. So then what I do is I write positive 2 here. I write positive 2 here. And then everything else would stay the same. What do I mean by that? It would be like this. It would be this, and this would be positive 2. Right? This wouldn't be here, and this would change into positive 2, and now I would have that. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that every single thing for these 2. Then whatever I get, I do with these 2, and then whatever I get with these 2. No, I don't want to do that. That defeats the whole purpose. Math is about efficiency. The way that numbers work is we got to be strategic on how we do this. Now we know the rules. That's all we have. The rules is if the signs are the same, you add. So what if you had to choose between adding or subtracting, what would be easier, adding or subtracting? Now, obviously, if I ask 10 kids, there's going to be some kids that said subtracting for me is easier. Hey, to each their own, and it's cool. But I'm going to encourage, in this case, jump on the bandwagon with addition. Addition is the easiest thing to do, right? So what is the rule for adding? If the signs are the same, you add and keep the same sign. Okay, so here, this is our problem. What I'm going to do here is now I need to know what numbers I can add together. And the numbers that I can add together are the numbers that have the same sign. Here are my positives. That's why it's good to identify them. Because if we identify the numbers that have the same signs, we're good, bro. Like we can honestly jump really quickly into the answer. Right? So let's first add. Now, honestly, what's easier to add, negatives or positives? People, it doesn't matter. I'm cool, whatever. For me, it's positives. So I'm gonna circle all the positives. So let's use in this case a different color. So we have positive for blue. Here it is. And honestly, I don't even whatever. Just do it like that. This is just for visual, right? This is just so you can visually see it. These positives and these circles. Eventually, you don't do that. You do that only aquí mero in your little head. But anyways, so first of all, these are all my positives. So you're going to add these. If the signs are the same, you add and keep the same sign. Perfect. All right. So let's add them. 8 and 2 is 10. Plus 3, 13. Plus 11. 13 plus 11, 24. Plus 7, 31. So 31. And if the signs are the same, you add and keep the same sign. So in this case, it's 31 positive, but we do not write positive when we don't need to, right? So in this case, I don't need to. So now the next thing is the negatives. So all these are negatives. Here they are. And what do I notice by the negatives? That they all 6, 4, and 5, they all have negatives. Do these have the same sign as well? Yes, they do. They're all negatives. They have the same sign. So and again, so we could go back. Here it is. Here we did this one. If the signs are the same, you add and keep the same sign. Right? If the signs are the same, you add and keep the same sign. So in this case, they're all negatives. So we add them as well. But we're just going to keep the sign that they all have, which is negative. So let's do that. So 6 plus 4 is 10. Plus 5 is 15. So it's 15. And in this case, it's negative because we keep the same sign. Now, you could have also done the negatives first. If you wanted to add the negatives first, you would have been, okay, it's 15. But then because there's nothing here, you would put that it's negative. So it would be negative 15. And then because you're putting the 31 here, you would, in this case, you would have to put the positive. So it would look negative 15 plus 31. Again, it's the same nonsense. Because positive means that you're going to go to the right that many times. Negative means that you're going to go to the left that many times. So it doesn't matter how you're writing it as long as you know which one's negative and which one's positive. All right. So I'm going to leave it like that because I always like to do positives first. Now, in this case, what do we have now? Now 31 is positive, right? And 15 is negative. So in this case, they're both different. So let's go to the rules. Here they are. If the signs are different, you subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So let's subtract. What's 31 minus 15? Oh my goodness. I don't know. 31. You see what I mean? So like sometimes, like I know it's 16, but let's say you don't know. So you would just set it up. 31 minus 15, right? So what do? So this becomes 11. This becomes 2. 11 minus 5, that's 6. 2 minus 1, that's 1. Right? So it's here. So if you do this subtraction, 31 minus 15 is 16. And you keep the sign of the bigger number. In this case, which one's bigger? 31, and 31's positive. So it stays positive, and we don't write a positive because we don't do that.